Welcome to the overview of Publisher presented by Tempo Business Intelligence. I'm pleased to present a very exciting product called Publisher. Publisher is a very unique and unprecedented product in the market today. It provides a very efficient, cost-effective method to create, generate, and deliver custom reports. From a single report to dozens, hundreds, or thousands, Publisher produces reports that modulate content for each consumer. Some of the unique features are the ability to have static text. This is describing a chart, a grid, or a graph. Dynamic text, detailing quantitative and qualitative descriptions that vary from page to page, as well as for each consumer. Custom branding. Brand the reports with your colors and logos. Produce outputs in several formats, including PDF, MS Word, XPS, and others. There's an auto schedule function. Allows you to auto schedule and run the reports at off-peak hours or whenever needed. Flexible report delivery. Reports can be emailed, pushed to SharePoint, or other portals as needed. Generate hundreds or thousands of reports from a single template. It's a user-friendly report creation, created in a drop and drag contents into the report without IT resources. Data mining for further analysis within the data discovery modality supports the Publisher modality. Here's a cover page. One of the features of the cover page is we have an employer group report, which is a review of cost and utilization. The slicer here is auto-generated. This is going to be for the AC/DC company. And you can brand it with your own logos and colors. Next page is the table of contents. Another unique feature to Publisher in that the auto-generation and modulation of the table of contents is rendered depending on what's in the body of the report. If the report doesn't have a particular page, the table of contents will repaginate according to the contents. Total flexibility to the contents of the report is user-defined. A typical employer group report might include key metrics, demographic data, cost and utilization, clinical review, pharmacy, risk profiles, and episodes of care, to name a few. Moving into the body of the report, starting with key metrics, we can see that at the top of the report is static text. The user writes the description of the chart, grid, graph that will appear on every report in the key metrics section. The grid, graph, or chart was created in the data discovery modality and is simply dragged and dropped into the report template. Data discovery allows the user to data mine where further analysis is required. One of the key features of Publisher is dynamic text, and dynamic text resides down here at the bottom of the page. It's the ability to auto-generate dynamic text based on what's either generated in the grid, graph, or chart, or from data elements calculated from the grid, graph, or chart, or from data elements residing in the database not displayed in the current grid, graph, or chart. For example, per member per month cost for the current period is $196.85. That was rendered from an amount that appeared in the report for all types of service. Medical services component of $158.32, again generated from a value that appeared in the report. The percent of 80.43% of the total PMPM cost was calculated using values in the report, and the percentage doesn't appear in the report. Same thing for pharmacy and admissions per thousand, etc. The dynamic text generator allows quantitative and qualitative text variables to be generated uniquely for each report. This is a powerful feature unique to Publisher. Moving into more, we have a paid amount by service date. We have a demographic view, which includes per member per month paid by age and gender. Member month distribution by age and gender. And now we'll get into the clinical review section. This is a 2-year comparison by diagnosis for paid amounts. And here we've blended some static text in the top portion here with dynamic text. The static text describes what the chart is, and the dynamic text is pulling information from the body of the report. Diagram shows that the highest diagnostic category is diseases of the musculoskeletal system, and that is depicted right here in the chart, and it's pulled it in a dynamic text fashion. Again, another example of dynamic text, where the static text is explaining what we're seeing in the report, and the dynamic text is picking up the qualitative and quantitative analysis that the diseases of the circulatory system cost $21.12 PMPM. Services per thousand, again, a blend of static text and dynamic text. PMPM by procedure, another blend, but rather than pulling in the value, we've been able to describe what the highest cost procedure group is, which is in the evaluation and management category, and it's pulling in the actual text of that in dynamic text. Pharmacy data. If pharmacy data was not available for this particular customer, table of contents would have modulated it and the pharmacy section would have been omitted. Everything would have been repaginated. But since we have pharmacy, we're looking at calculating, again, using the dynamic text generator, what percentage of the total scripts written amongst the top 10 branded drugs, and that's a value that doesn't reside in the grid graph or chart. Again, just the power of Publisher and using dynamic text. Another powerful feature that we're looking at here is the multi-charting. It's created in the data discovery, which now allows us to pull in 6 disparate graphs with various values on the axes, and it's auto-generated and splits it into 6, and we're able to just pull that right into the Publisher and deliver the report. Generic drugs, another similar exhibit of blending static text with dynamic text. And there's the 6 graphs auto-generated in the multi-charting function. This is a unique function. It's patent pending within the data discovery modality, and the charts were created there and simply dragged and dropped into the Publisher. Here's a risk review portion, and this is an example of embedding third-party output into the business intelligence platform. The banding of paid claims, membership, and claimant counts depicts the risk profile of a particular population. Here you can see that the bands are for very low risk, moderate, and what we're graphing here are the paid amounts by risk band as well as the membership distribution and the claimant counts. Moving along, another example of risk banding by product, by risk band, and it's a 2-year comparison between year 1 and year 2, by risk band, by product, including all risk bands. Another example of embedding sophisticated, robust, third-party output into the report is an episode grouper. Here we have all of the episodes with values associated with each of the episodes, including the allowed amount, the number of episodes, and a predictive modeling aspect of risk expected allowed amount, another powerful function on what we would expect the values to be given the risk profile of the particular population. In conclusion, I want to wrap up by saying that the publisher is an unprecedented report writer with extraordinary capabilities. Its cost-effective and efficient mechanisms to create and deliver a single report, dozens of reports, hundreds, or even thousands is another unprecedented capability. It's extremely user-friendly. It's a drop and drag into a template without IT involvement. The data mining or data discovery modality supports the report writer or publisher and allows end users to do further analysis as needed. You can produce reports in multiple formats like MS Word, PDF, or XPS. It's an efficient delivery of reports via email, secure mail, SharePoint, or other portals. AutoScheduler has the capability to run reports based on user-driven parameters, time sensitivity, etc., whatever the end user wants to deploy. Publisher works well for provider reports, shared savings reports, gaps in care to ACOs and PCPs, as well as employer groups. I want to thank you for your time and have a good day. Goodbye.